spirit. Like my wife Shemaine, Brittany is the queen of the forest, and she's cocked, locked, and ready to rock the Glock, Doc. She's got the attitude and the energy and the spirit is because she's venison fueled. I love Brittany. Godspeed, Brittany. Whack 'em and stack 'em, baby.
Thank you, Uncle Ted.
So that was basically what I was going to say. He kind of stole my thing a little bit. Everybody knows who that is, or does anybody not know? Ted Nugent, right? All right, so anyway, without further ado, if you would say hello to my friend and soon to be your friend, Brittany Niemer.
Hello. So I'm Brittany Niemer, but I'm known on social media as Brittany Jill. That's what I go by because I don't like people knowing my true identity. Let's see if this will. So I'm going to kind of start backwards. So I'm going to kind of explain what I've been doing recently and then kind of how I got started. So recently I've been doing this thing called the Venmo Challenge, where by using my social media platform, I've been asking my people on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok to give 25 or 50 cents to this Venmo account that I created. And then I go out to dinner and I bless a server with the money. So, since June 21st, that's when I did my first challenge, I've raised and given over $10,500 to servers, delivery drivers, bussers, and cooks. And here's...
Was this on Channel 3?
Yes.
Real quick, have you heard of the Venmo Challenge? Yeah. Do you know what Venmo is? I do. So basically on social media, I asked my followers on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter to give 25 to 50 cents to this account. So that way we can give it to a server. So I want to give it to you. Put your hand out, please. We raised 10, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 420, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 460, 560, 660, $760 for you.
So she said she was getting surgery on Monday and she didn't know how she was going to pay for it. And that basically paid for it. So it's been really cool. Actually, I've done it mainly in Effingham because that's where I'm from, but then I've done it in Wisconsin, Tennessee, and Pennsylvania too. So basically anytime I travel, I always try to find a place to go. This next video is just like a bunch of quick reactions of the people. That way you didn't have to sit and listen to me explain it the whole time. But just showing how it really is helping people. Now here we go. $100 for you.
Oh my God! Are you serious? I was serious! You've been awesome. You've been a great server. $60, $80, $200. Because you $450, $750, $850 for you. No. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that just made my day.
That's just a few of the examples. Actually, yesterday I did my 21st Venmo challenge. So it's been really cool to be able to use my social media that I've grown as my own personal brand to go out and try to help other people. But not only am I giving the money to servers? I actually did a 1.5-week long challenge to help try to fight child sex trafficking. So I posted a Venmo challenge and basically said all the money that was going to be raised, I was going to be giving it to 3 different organizations. Operation Underground Railroad, and that's an organization that literally goes in and like takes the children away from the trafficker. RAF International, they're an organization that helps people after they're rescued to make sure that everything is going well with them, that they're doing okay. And then Fight to End Exploitation, that's actually a group out of the Milwaukee area, because I'm born and raised in the Milwaukee area, so I wanted to give it to somewhere close to home for me. And we ended up raising $6,200 in a 1.5 weeks. So that was super cool. And actually right now, I'm working with Spectrum, and we are doing shirts. And so there's 3 different colors, there's long sleeves, and we're doing this for about another week. And last I heard, actually it was last Friday, we had 47 shirts sold, and they're giving $10 of each shirt to a different organization. It's a Coco Beerfield. It's her scholarship. So actually, she was trafficked, and she is trying to help other people live a better life. So that's where our organization is going to for these shirts. This is just another opportunity that I've gotten through my social media and just doing what I love and just getting out there. And actually, this is called Hunt the Vote. So this is actually how I got in contact with Uncle Ted, and you'll see the next person, the next life I got to meet. But we found out that hunters, there's over 2 million hunters that either aren't registered to vote or didn't vote in the 2016 and 2018 election. So with this organization, we're going and talking to different swing states, and we're basically telling people to get out and vote. So here's just a quick little clip of one of the events we did in Wisconsin. You'll see who I got to open up for. You might recognize them. This one doesn't have sound, unfortunately. And I don't like public speaking, and this was the biggest event I've ever spoken in front of. This is just kind of showing what social media has done for me as a personal brand, but then after I'll get into how it can help businesses. So I got to hang out with Uncle Ted again. But again, because of this group, I got to go ice fishing with Donald Trump Jr., which was pretty cool. So, but that was just because he was fishing kind of where I was, and through the grapevine, I knew a few people, and he let me come. But, so social media for a company. So I didn't go to school for social media marketing. I didn't even go for marketing. I went for exercise science, and I actually worked in cardiac and pulmonary rehab for 2.5 years. And as I started growing my own social media, I realized that I really enjoyed doing this. I really enjoyed marketing and trying to help other companies grow. And I realized throughout the 3.5 years I was trying to grow my own social media to prove to a company that I could grow theirs, that the more people that I had seeing my stuff, the more people they would have seeing their stuff. So I got in contact with one of the guys who worked at GSM, and at the time there were 6 companies associated with the brand. And I reached out to him and I said, I will work on your smallest company and help it grow, and I'll do it for $500 less a month. And he said, okay, I'll give you a chance, we'll see what happens. So I took over HME, which is one of the companies on there. After 3 months, he asked if I want to take over all 6 of the companies. So I do their Facebook and their Instagram, and basically just their marketing for them. As 2.5 years has come and gone, we now own all these companies, which is pretty cool. If any of you guys hunt, you might recognize some of them, and it has been just crazy watching these companies grow and watching what I've done for their social media to watch it grow and help it grow. So tips to grow your company's social media or your personal brand social media. And I just do Facebook and Instagram for the companies, but I'm also on TikTok and Twitter and LinkedIn. But you want consistency in posting. So if you have a restaurant, or if you have a company where you use social media, you want to make sure that you're posting. You don't need to post every single day if you don't want to. But if if somebody goes to your business page and looks at it and you have a post from last year, they're gonna look and be like, okay, well, I'm not gonna follow this page because they don't post very much. If you want to grow your following, you need to make sure you're posting once a week, twice a week if you can, 3 times a week if you can. Relevant posts. So I work with basically all hunting companies, and during the summertime when it's slow, I can schedule out my posts for a week, 2 weeks, because it's all the same thing. When I work for 3 different tree stand companies, you can only post, I can't wait to get up in the tree stand every so often, but there's no really post that I can do about a tree stand company in the middle of summer except for getting my tree stands ready. But now that it's hunting season, well, for us it starts on Thursday for archery, but I am not scheduling anything because somebody could have shot a giant deer yesterday for one of the pages that I work for that we sponsor them, and that's what I want to be posting. You want to try to make sure what you're posting is relevant to what's going on. I mean, you can, even if you work in a restaurant, which I don't know what you guys do, but this is just an example I'm giving, and if you work in a restaurant, you can make posts about COVID, you can, because that's what's going on. You can put your daily specials, you can put pictures of the food that you have. That way if somebody goes on your Facebook page to look and see, oh, I wonder what their special today is. Boom, picture's right there, and you're like, okay, I want to go there and go eat. What can somebody learn from you or from your page? So, for me, I have a separate fitness social media account, and I post workouts. Well, I used to post them way more, but life happens and you get busy, but now I post probably 2 workouts a week. And so people come to my page and and it's all free. And you can scroll through I have thousands and thousands of videos of workouts. But I also work with a supplement company where I sell their stuff. So people can look at my page and be like, okay, I like to see that I'm getting content from you. I like to see that I'm learning something from you. I can use your workouts, and because of that, I'm going to help you out by buying these supplements through you and using your code versus somebody else's code. And giveaways. Giveaways are huge. If you want to get people to come to your page, if you want to get people to stay on your page, post a giveaway. If you are a restaurant owner, for example, give away a meal, give away a free appetizer, do something. That's going to get people, they're going to have to share your post, which means everybody on their friend's page is going to see it. So say I make a post and all of you share it, that means all of your friends are going to see the post too. You have to tag 3 friends, you can tag 2 friends, however you want this giveaway to work, boom. That's going to get even more people to your page. And then if you have them that they have to actually like your page as well, that gets another person. But it all comes back to the top 3 too. You want to make sure that you're consistent, you want to make sure it's relevant, and that somebody can learn something, because that's going to get the people to stay on your page. Because if they are like, oh, well, they haven't posted anything in 7 months, I can like it for the challenge, and then, or for the giveaway, and then be done with it. Hopefully that makes sense. So here's one more Venmo challenge. Actually, this happened yesterday. We went to the loading dock in Verina, and I just want to end this with just a good feeling. And if anybody wants to give for my next challenge, my Venmo's up there. I don't know if you guys know what Venmo is or use it, but it's a app. But I'm just gonna play this quick. We'll play it, and then I'll let you ask questions.
What Venmo is? I have not heard of it. Okay, so Venmo is kind of like an app where people can like transfer money to you. And so I've been doing this thing on social media where people have been asking for like 25 or 50 cents for people to give the money to a server. And so tonight I'm going to tip you with all that money and bless you with it.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So if you put your hand out, I'll give you the money.
Okay.
So I have $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 for you. You're welcome.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. And it's for people all over social media, just giving 25 or 50 cents.
Wow. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So it's pretty cool watching 8 people all come together to give money to be able to do this, and just being able to be the person to bless them, which is pretty amazing. But does Does anybody have any questions? Yes.
Brittany, now that you're getting known in this area for the Venmo challenge, does that cause any problems when you go into restaurants?
I kind of put my head down. I walk in a restaurant. No, I get nervous that they're gonna, that if I only tip like my 20%, they're gonna be like, oh. But I'm trying now to not do any more in Effingham just because I feel like I've basically given to.
You should perhaps employ some anonymous tippers so that they never know who it's going to be who's going to give the money.
I was going to, but the people who give the money want to see the reaction.
Well, I understand that part. Somebody else is going to do the video.
Yeah.
How many people you got given to that? Obviously, hundreds or thousands.
Yeah, so I've gotten, well, actually for this last challenge, and all I asked for is 25 or 50 cents. And people actually got the most amount of money I've ever gotten this past challenge. Somebody gave $250. And it's been, actually this last one I didn't get that many people, but people were giving like $10 or $5. But I've probably gotten thousands of different people who've given money. And there's some people whose names come up every time that, every challenge to get $5. And they're like, I just want to keep seeing this positivity in my social media because there's so much negativity going on. Yes.
So you walk into a restaurant, you scan the servers, how do you pick within some period of time who you're going to bless?
So if it's a random Venmo challenge, I don't. It's whoever I get. And it's kind of a, well, and then there's half of them I actually reached out to the owners ahead of time and was like, hey, do you have somebody who really needs money or who's struggling? They're like, yeah. So I get it set up with the restaurant and they make sure that I sit in the section. Actually, the girl, the first girl that I showed you, the one where I started crying too, she is from Milwaukee, and it was my college roommate. She worked at that restaurant, and then her husband, his dad owns the restaurant, and he's like, I have this perfect girl who needs money. So I went in there with $600 cash. My roommate from college seated us at her table. She gave me an extra $160 that people from the restaurant who worked there gave because they wanted to give extra. That's why I was giving her so many 20s. Normally I have hundreds, but she gave me all 20s, so I'm just sitting there counting 20s. But the fact that they knew that this girl was going to be getting $600, but they still wanted to give her more. So that was really cool. But yeah, yesterday was a completely random one. I just wanted to get out of Effingham and go somewhere else. But this next one I already have planned, and it's going to be a good one. Yes.
You might, speaking of that, you might tell the story of where Steve saw the guy in the, were you at Gabby Goat?
Yeah, so in one of the, so I was at Gabby Goat and I was giving my first $1,000 tip. And I'd never done that before. Yeah, and I was all excited. So I was posting, I was gonna give $1,000. Well, we saw the guy who does, he does the dishwashing. Well, he was busting his butt, running back and forth. And he's like, you need to give him some money. I'm like, I know, but I just made a whole post. I was gonna give one server $1,000. So I ran out to my truck. I had $200. So I ran and brought it for him too because he was busting his butt. I've done 3 delivery drivers, and those are cool because they don't expect it either. Yeah.
What's your social media preference, or do you do all, or what?
So, I like it for business-wise, I like Facebook and Instagram. I don't like Twitter for the companies that I work for because Twitter is very, there's a lot of people that just can like make you really fast and just like if you're not on Twitter and you're not able to like respond right away, it can just be a downward spiral. And now I'm doing 24 social media companies. I'm like, I don't have time to sit and have to watch it. Whereas Facebook and Instagram, I can monitor them better. So for business, I like Facebook and Instagram. For my personal stuff, probably Facebook and Instagram. Sorry. Actually, TikTok, the new app that Trump is trying to get banned, that's where my videos go the most viral. They take off the fastest. I think that's where I get the most money for the Venmo challenges.
I recently had the CEO class at the dealership, and took a tour of the facility, and after they're done, I quizzed them on social media, and I said, how many of you got Facebook? And like 3 people raised their hand. And I said, okay, where's the others? And they all said Instagram.
Yep.
Very few under 20s, I guess, are into Facebook.
Right. For the companies that I work for, I feel like we target, obviously, I mean, most hunters, I feel like, are 30s to 70s. I mean, so we're targeting people on Facebook. Instagram, obviously, we want to, 90s. But that's why we use Facebook too, because it's like we need to get the older demographic and the younger demographic. But I also have, for Stealth Cam, we have a TikTok account because I can post a trail camera video and 270,000 people can see it. And whether people are going to buy from it or not, I don't know, but it's still getting a lot of people to see these videos.
When you talk about consistency in your posting and relevant, do you post all original content or do you share from other things that you like? Like, what's yours?
For the companies I work for, we pay like TV hosts, we pay different people who have like a big following on social media, and they give us the content. So I take a lot of their stuff, but then for smaller brands, a lot of the people, we don't pay a lot of people to promote them, so they'll send me stuff and then I'll create the content for that. If that makes sense. Yes.
So for what you're doing, the social media for you, what would you say is the key to your success?
Consistency and relevance. I mean, I feel like for mine, people, I feel like there's not as many women who are in the hunting industry and actually get out and hunt, so I feel like a lot of people look at my stuff and they're like, wow, she's actually going out and hunting, or she's out catching catfish with her hands, or she's out red stag hunting. They don't, it's not as common as men doing it, so I feel like a lot of people start following me just because I am a woman, I do it.
It's not where I was going with that, but. Where were we going?
Yeah.
Just honest question.
No.
I have a question. You know, with social media, sometimes you know, get that negative stuff that you can't control. So what do you do about that? I mean, I can't do anything about it, but I need anything.
For the companies, I will direct message them and I will like ask them what their issue is, and then I'll take care of it. I'll send it to like our head of customer service, and then I'll delete their comment. So that way they know that I'm taking care of them, but I don't want all the other people to see that they're frustrated or mad on our page. On my stuff, I get,
You can get some like 2 a.m. or something when you're not watching it. How do you get alerts and stuff?
oh yeah, my phone's always going off. I was afraid that I was gonna get stuff up there when the thing was going on. Social media is all the time, but you also need to realize that you can't control it 24/7, but I'm also on my phone. My screen time, my average screen time, I think is between 9 and 10 hours a day, Sunday through Sunday. So I'm always on my phone, always working. But what's also nice is that I can be in a tree stand and still be working and still keep an eye on everything, you know, where I can be traveling and still work. So that's what's nice about social media, but also there's good and bad.
Where do you hunt?
In the
Effingham
woods.
area. I don't know what county, I should know what county, but I just know where to go.
Steve takes her. You're
Yeah.
privileged information, Jerry, you can't ask.
I hunt in the woods where the deer are.
There you go.
I don't know if it interests you or not, and maybe it's I gotta pay $1 for a brag, but my brother has a youth hunt, 2 weekends from now. I think it's this, what is it, 16, 17, something like that. But he'll have 35 to 50, 12 to 18-year-olds, I believe.
Is that the pheasant hunt?
It's pheasant, quail.
I helped out with it last year.
Okay, did you?
I actually gave them 7 cases of ammo. So I worked with Browning and Browning Ammo, and I reached out to them to see if they'd donate anything. And I'm like, yeah, I think we can help you out. So I brought them 7 cases of ammo that they got to use.
If you got children that like or would like to learn how to hunt, they've got many adults that help out. They bring dogs in from all over the place. I don't know who they got a couple big sponsors.
Yeah.
But
Even if your kid has never shot a gun. Last year, I helped at the first station where they literally were shooting trap. And there were kids who'd never shot a gun. So what we would do is we had a log set up, we'd have the clay, we just have it set up, and we're like, all right, try to shoot that. And how they set it up is so cool. So they shoot trap, and then the next station they go and they do a little bit more shooting, and then they go and they have birds in cages with the dogs. so the kids know when they're gonna walk up, and then they open up the cages and the birds fly out. That was a really cool event that they do. So if you guys do know anybody, even if they haven't shot a gun or if they are interested, definitely bring them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes.
So Jerry, she hunts in New Zealand because she got a red stag in New Zealand. Have you posted, is that video out available? of your
No, it's
hunt?
not up. They're still working on editing it,
Okay.
but I do have a bit. Well, I'm not gonna show that. My guide was filming, and he got my reaction, and I just start sobbing.
I've seen that.
Yeah. It's like, I'll post that on social media. Oh my god, I'm not gonna post it here.
Sounded like it was very close too, right?
Oh, it was 12 yards away.
Yeah.
That was, that's why he got to film it, because he couldn't move. He was like, I'm stuck here, because the stag was so close that it was cool. He gets to it.
Like fishing or hunting better? Or do you enjoy fishing or hunting more?
I think I like bird hunting the most, which a lot of you guys are probably gonna shake your head at me, because I know deer hunting is very prevalent down here, but anything I could take my dog. So I got my dog because my husband doesn't like bird hunting. So I said, you know what? If you don't wanna come with me, I'll get a dog, and me and him will go. So anything where I can bring my dog, that's probably my favorite.
As a lady, were you raised with a hunting
Nope.
family?
So so my brothers, I have two younger brothers, and when they were 10, they both got their hunter safety. They both went hunting with my dad. My dad gun deer hunts in Wisconsin, and it's more of like a family tradition thing, go up north and hang out with the family. And they never thought that I wanted to, because when I was a little girl, I would cry when the toads would die in the window wells. So they thought that I would like not want to hunt. Well, my ex-boyfriend basically was like, when I was 18, 19, he's like, either you're gonna start hunting or you won't see me in the fall. I was like, okay, I'll try it. I tried it and I fell in love. And we broke up, and I hunted way more after, because I was going because I wanted to, not because somebody else wanted to. And I think that's where the passion really grew, is because I was going because I wanted to. And I think that's where the passion shows, like on my social media, that people know that I'm actually doing it because I truly enjoy it.
Brittany, I know you do stuff with Browning, so how did you, what do you do for them? Do you just promote their product, or do you use their products hunting and then post that?
Yep. So when my ex-boyfriend and I broke up, actually, he was like, I want my gun and my bow back. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I was like, well, now what? I don't have a weapon. So I was like, I'm gonna go and buy myself a gun. I worked at a kickboxing gym, and I always got like good bonus after Black Friday. So I'm like, whatever I have left, I'm gonna go and buy a shotgun. So I bought my brand new Browning A5, and that was like my baby. Cause I was like, you know what? I'm gonna spend this kind of money on a gun. I'm gonna be using it. And so with my social media, I'd always have my gun in my pictures, and I'd always tag Browning, because I was like, oh, it'd be cool if they would post my pictures. Well, 3 years later, Beretta actually reached out, because I saw I had a pretty big social media platform, and they're like, hey, we would love for you to shoot our guns. And I was like, well, I'm a Browning girl. Like, I need my Browning. So I was like, if Browning doesn't want to work with me, then maybe I'll try out a Beretta and see how it is and see if I like it. But I was like, I want to see if Browning will work with me first. I'm like, I've used this gun for the past 3 years. I posted about it every hunt that I go on. So I reached out to Browning, and they're like, well, what are you looking for? And I was like, I just want to be Team Browning. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, well, yeah. And then they're like, here, we'll send you a new gun and see how you like it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And so then I started working with them, and I use their products, I promote them, I mean, it's cool because I get to literally like use and abuse them and try them out and test them out. And I'm supposed to go on a deer hunt with them this year using one of their rifles, which will be cool because I've never shot anything with one of their rifles before. So just to be able to use it, and then what's nice is that I can talk to people about X, Y, or Z because I actually use the products. So.
Which do you prefer then?
Gun or bow or what?
Which gun? Bring.
Probably still my A5. It's still, but yeah, probably my A5.
We won't tell them.
Love the Browning
Yeah, that's still brown, but it's still, that's my baby, that's like near and dear to my heart.
Great. How about a round of applause for Brittany?
Yeah.